is friend. Say about children, y'all. The world is ran by select few. They tryna brand the name and bear us with a chip. But this the antidote. I'm hitting you with some truth. We not meant to survive, but that's the dirty truth. The world is ran by select few. That's right. They tryna brand the name and bear us with a chip. But this the antidote. I'm hitting you with some truth. We not meant to survive, and that's the dirty truth. They use mainstream media, distracted people, and they brainwash America with television. And they distract all our kids with these fantasies. But the real deal is them sex trafficking. Can you feel me? But this the antidote. But truth be told, this is history. They don't give a fuck about the ghettos of America. They be pushing the drugs and the guns in the black communities. We was conquered off our land. White supremacy at its finest. It's all a setup now, and we fight the COVID virus. It's a new war order plan. Depopulate the fucking masses. The world is ran by select few. They tryna brand the name and bear us with a chip. But this the antidote. I'm here with some truth. I'm not meant to survive, but that's the dirty truth. The world is ran by select few. They tryna brand the name and bear us with a chip. But this the everywhere right now. I'm hitting you with some truth. We not meant to survive, and that's the dirty truth. Dirty truth. Yo, we need to save our children. It's the antidote. 2020. King Naxon, we did it again, bro.
Grand Rising, everybody. This is Dice Game G coming back here on We Are VishusTv. We finna go running live and lit. I got a message that I want to share to everybody because you know I'm an empath and I just want to speak on the God frequency. God frequency that came through just the other day. If you sensitive like me, you felt it. If you sensitive like me, you felt it. You know what I'm saying? God frequency. First thing first, we want to give it all to the Most High. The Most High God, the creator of the universe, creator of everything, creator of DNA, creator of everything, creator of Satan. Let me get it right. Because right now, everybody see that we shifting. We going into a frequency shift. And this shift is, you know what I'm saying, if you're not on this frequency, you're not going to make it. And like I said, this is for, you know, this frequency right now we are, you know, into right now is basically, it's not racist. You got to have your frequency up. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't be lukewarm and you cannot, you know what I'm saying, hide. You cannot, you know what I'm saying, pretend. You cannot blame others. You cannot, you know what I'm saying, sit back not having accountability for your actions. You have to do your shadow work if you got that trauma on you. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, this shift is, I'm telling you, this is beautiful because it can't be tainted. You know what I'm saying? You think you're going to try to, you know what I'm saying, you know, pull some loopholes in this frequency, this God frequency, thinking, you know what I'm saying, you can, you know, basically, you know, just hide right here and then come and pop back out and thinking, you know what I'm saying, nobody saw you, or you think you just going to cover up, period. Or hide in a fucking cave or a tomb or stuff like that. We told you from day one, you know what I'm saying, what was coming, it cannot be stopped. And that's God's frequency. You see what I'm saying? You know, this planet, this dimension is going back to its original. And I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying, you know, this frequency is not, you know, it's not finna, you know, play with anyone. And you think you know, you gonna put some tricks in the game, You think uh, you gonna fool it? Uh-uh. I'm telling you. See, for a lot of people, and I'm gonna turn my camera on so you can see me. You know what I'm saying? Because I want people to see my eyes and see my frequency, or see, you know what I'm saying, me, you know, speak on this message. Because I've been doing this for over 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to fake. I'm not here to lie. I'm not here to deceive anyone. You know what I'm saying? If you've been a loyal follower to the channel, to We Are VishusTv, or We Are #VishusTv, Dickie Jr. and Dice Game Show, you know what I'm saying? We are genuine people. You know what I'm saying? And we also, you know, try to help to raise the consciousness. A lot of people is not taking this seriously. you know, when we was pushing out the message, and I know it's a lot of deceitful people out there. We know that. We know. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch what you hear on this, and take in on this internet, because you got so many demons and devils. You got so many people that manipulate you and manipulate others and stuff like that. We know this. You see what I'm saying? You know, and the genuine people that speaks from the heart, and have that God frequency radiating off of them, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, this industry, these platforms is ran by the other side, they them people is shadow banned. Them people is, tucked away in the algorithms. You know this. You know what I'm saying? Them people is not ran by an agency, because a lot of these agencies working for Lucifer. You see what I'm saying? You know, I've been talking about this for the last, few years, about people to get, coming on YouTube or come on these platforms that have a massive following. Now it's out. Now a lot of people seeing that, some of these people work by the agency. Now I'm not saying a lot, everybody is bad that is working for these agencies and that. But I'm telling you, these agencies is mixed up. And the ones that, what I'm saying, that is trying to, make money off others and exploit others, what I'm saying? And then, if you're a type of person that have a straight direct, content, and speak on, on awareness and what's going on in the industry, you know, them the ones that get blocked. Them the ones that get pushed back to the side. Them the ones that they don't want the masses to hear, because they are awakening people. I'm not new to this. I'm not new to speaking about this. It's not new to me. You know what I'm saying? Me talking about this frequency, talking about the Illuminati, talking about all this whole agenda, talking about the deep dark part. This is not new to me. I've been speaking about this, what I'm saying, for over 2 decades. You know what I'm saying? It just coming online, you know, speaking out, had me, basically boggled up first, because, we don't know who we speaking it to. You know what I'm saying? We don't know who's listening. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had it at first. I had a problem with that, because I don't know who's listening. And when people speaking the truth, they get attacked. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I had to, really get, off into this. But fear of coming out with this and speaking my heart, it's no fear. You see what I'm saying? It's no fear. You know, like I said, I'm very cautious sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, coming on this internet, you don't know who's listening, you don't know who, could be talking to you or putting spells out on you. You don't know. You know what I mean? So, and I have my own way of putting out the message. I'm not like everybody else. You see other people that's come on here, and they talk about the extraterrestrials and go into our history and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know, I'm, me and Dickie, we put out the message like how we, what I'm saying, perceive it and how we want to, what I'm saying. And we ain't trying to sound and be like anyone else, you know what I'm saying. And I'm just putting that out before I get started. Before I get started, you know what I'm saying. For all y'all new cats that's coming across here, we do not, what I'm saying, work like others, And then too, a lot of people hold their presentation like how they've been taught in school. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, I've been on deprogramming from, the schools and all these other, programs. You see what I'm saying? So if I don't speak like how you normally hear somebody put down, messages or speeches or anything like that, it tells you, I'm trying to break the program and we don't work in that format. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been lied to on a, massive scale, you know. So everything that we were brought in and been programmed to, you find out that you was lied to, you have to, toss all that away that you have learned all over these years. You know what I'm saying? Because, it's lies. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to clean up, the shit that you've been programmed to know and now find out the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody's not going to perceive and perceive like others. You know what I'm saying? Everybody perceives things differently, take in information differently. You know what I'm saying? And we spoke about this, once before. Because some people, get a lot of messages off pictures. A lot of people get messages off, somebody speaking to them or going on a YouTube channel or, reading a book, you know, music. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people experiencing, messages and bringing in, the information differently. So don't be judging people because, they don't catch it as quick as you, or because you can listen to a audio and you'll catch it, and that person can't just sit through a 3 hour, audio and listen. That's not their way to, you know, bring in the messages. You know what I mean? And some people ask me why you say, understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, the English language is spell casting. You see what I'm saying? And they trying to divert, everything from, you know, how you can perceive and how, you can bring things in positive. You know what I'm saying? So when they say understanding, it's going under you. So you're not really feeling it because it's under you. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it in. You know what I'm saying? You got to take in the information. That's why we say understanding, because you take it in or overstand it. You know what I'm saying? So for some of y'all, because I know a lot of people been asking me, why you say understanding? I got people on the outside, I speak to, they say, why you say understanding? Because you taking it in. You know what I'm saying? You ain't under nothing. Cause when you know that you putting, you taking it, you understanding, you're not getting it. It is simple as that. It's common sense if you did listen to it. See what I'm saying? So, like I told you, I'm not new to this. I'm not new to speaking about, this agenda or any of these topics. Because sometimes I don't talk about certain agendas or talking about some topics don't mean I don't know. Like extraterrestrials and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Oh yes, I do know. Because that's what I first came in, into, speaking to people, is talking about the extraterrestrials, or you say the reptilians, the alien greys, the Anunnaki. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? So that's what, my base was based on, my content was based on coming in talking about these extraterrestrials, so-called extraterrestrials, because we finding out that the first civilization or first colonists colonized this planet was the reptilians. So if you don't know that, you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of research doing, because we know now that humanity came here. So if you don't know that, please do your research. But we ain't gonna divert off the topic at hand, because just the other day, I felt that energy. I've been feeling her energy. And I've been saying, what are you talking about? Her. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? We've been this, misguided too. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta do the research. You know what I'm saying? This is educational purpose only. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here trying to make any people mad or nothing. We just want people to do their own due diligence, do their own research. Like I said, I told people that's been my loyal followers, they'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? When all this stuff when this whole system come fixing to crash down, I was gonna be in the front lines speaking and exposing this shit. You know what I'm saying? I told it. You know what I'm saying? It's all on record. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe me, you just gotta go back and look at my content. Or me and my brother, Dickie Jr. content. We spoke about this years ago. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you're experiencing right now or seeing right now, a lot of it, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, like 80% of it, we have talked about it, spoke about it, saying this could be a possibility that this could happen in our reality. And what I mean by this, you know what I'm saying, the exposure of the industry, the deep dark cabal, the Illuminatist, you know, masonry, you know what I'm saying? We talked about this. And I'm gonna put it like this: some people, you know what I'm saying, want to follow people because they seem like and so intelligent because they use big words. They talk and everything they come out of their mouth is big and long words. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean them people are intelligent. Some people just want to throw you off or lure you in. Maybe, oh, yeah, that person, he's intelligent. He's using big words. But if you have to use big words, and then this is my opinion, you have to use big words. You know what I'm saying? You trying to you trying to mask. You trying to you know what I'm saying? Seem like you something that you're not. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna give it to you raw, real, and unedited. So let me go on and you know what I'm saying, get everything together. Because we're gonna go in. I'm gonna punch in so you can see, man. I just, you know what I'm saying, want to just, come out here and, just do my introduction because it's going to get serious on this one today, ladies and gents, because I'm speaking from the heart. I'm speaking from the heart. I'm speaking from the heart. Please share this long and wide, please. You know what I'm saying? Because, I don't have nothing to hide to no one. I don't have to tell y'all no lies because I don't know you. You don't know me. You don't have to pay my bills. I don't have to pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to see you. I don't have to sleep with you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have no reason to lie to you. You see what I'm saying? So I hope some of y'all get that straight. We've been doing this for a long time. And as you see, come to the channel, like on YouTube. YouTube, we got low numbers on YouTube. Like I told you, they shadow ban us. They keep us out of the algorithms, you know what I'm saying? Because they know our frequency. They listen to us every fucking day. They see us every fucking day. And we have that technology in our pockets or on our heads or, you know what I'm saying? We strolling through it. It's our telephone. You know what I'm saying? Thank Obama and the rest of them clowns because they the one came and started violating our privacy like that. You know what I'm saying? Really, it's before Obama. But Obama really, you know what I'm saying, took it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know that, do your research. You're going to hear me say, do your research, you know what I'm saying, a lot. Because you got to get an understanding, not understanding, understand it, and overstand it. You have to get your own understanding on this so you can, you know what I'm saying? Because, I could tell you a billion, trillion times, but if you can't take it in or you ain't taking it in, you ain't gonna never get it. That's what this life is about. That's why learning from your mistakes, you gotta understand why it was a mistake. If you don't understand why it's a mistake, you're going to keep doing it because you don't understand why it was a mistake, if that makes sense. See what I'm saying? Like I said, look. I'm not new to this, yo. I'm not new to this. I'm not new to speaking to people. And plus stuff, I'm a Gemini. For the ones that don't know, they're coming in and, want to know, because a lot of people now is getting into, zodiac signs and symbols and stuff like that. So if you want to know what my sign is, I was born May 25th, 1982, 5:15 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? 5/25, 1982. So if you don't know, just do your research on 5/25, and like I said, it's a spiritual thing too. Spiritual numbers, you know what I mean? And and I have my own contract. My contract is, is coming and to awaken and enlighten and lead people, lead our people. And I ain't just talking about us indigenous, melanated, and I don't like using this word because some people just ain't getting the indigenous part and melanated part, but black people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just here for my own race. I'm here for everybody that is aware and want to learn and is like-minded. I don't care about no fucking color. Cause like I said, I've been set up and I've been, you know, uh, robbed and used by my own peoples. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My own race. You know what I'm saying? Set me up and or talked about me, make me look bad and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So we want to cut that, that race shit out right here, right now. For the ones that want to, thinking that, I've said my peoples. No, I'm talking about my peoples is like-minded and awareness, want to raise their consciousness, want to bring in that God frequency. Because I'm going to speak about this God frequency because it's everywhere right now. So everybody want to say, well, it's a nothing good and you've been seeing a lot of evil around and such and such. And you know what I'm saying? Well, God is here. God been here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to blame God because they family members died or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to let y'all know. God, the Most High, and I'm talking about the Most High. I'm talking about the one who loves us unconditionally. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about no fucking Satan. You know what I'm saying? We ain't talking about Lucifer. We talking about the Most High, the one that's created all of us, even Satan, the one that loves us unconditionally. So, you know what I'm saying? I want to put that out because, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is now getting into their awakening and they finding out, you know what I'm saying, about different gods out here. It's more than one gods. You know what I'm saying? But it's only one God frequency. It's only one God source that permeates everything, every living organism on the planet. It's only one. You know what I'm saying? And the scientist knows it because it's in every living thing DNA. You know what I'm saying? 97% of every living thing of that DNA in that living thing, you know what I'm saying? The scientists call it junk DNA because they don't know what it is. They don't know, you know what I'm saying? But they just know it's in every living fucking organism or being on the planet. So they want to say, well, that's got to be God. Yes. And then the other 3% is whatever it is. If it's a dog, a cat, or a human being, or whatever. See what I'm saying? So you don't know that. Do your research. I told you, women, men, gentlemen, I'm not here to lie to you. I'm here to spread awareness. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm here to do as my sole contract. I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? I haven't strayed away from it. You know, sometimes I get frustrated. You know, that lets you know that, you know what I'm saying, I have a soul. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, you know what I'm saying, and breathing and trying to, uplift the planet. That's my contract. And some people be like, how do you know, if you're here for a certain reason, or you here, everybody's here for something. Everybody's here got a contract. Everybody here to do something. If they ain't to just come in for a little bit and leave it, that was your contract. Some people got long contracts. Some people got short contracts. Some people, what I'm saying, it just whatever the soul agrees to. You know what I'm saying? But my soul agreed to come in here because we is going to experience this shift, this fifth and sixth dimensional shift that we're witnessing right now. That's why I'm here in my contract. I signed to come here to experience this and lead. I'm a chief. You know what I'm saying? I been saying, how you know that? You know what I mean? Like I told you, if you tapped into your divinity, you tapped into the Most High, you tap into, your spiritual essence. You speak to the Most High daily to show you your ancestors, to guide you. If you want to know the truth, if you want to know why you here, and what was your calling, what is your contract, only thing you gotta do is ask. Ask the universe, ask the Most High to give you. We all got caught, we all got, records. You know what I'm saying? That's the Akashic records. We all have that. If you have a soul, you got Akashic records. You know what I'm saying? And the Akashic records is real basically like a spiritual, your spiritual book that, you can know your past, you know what I mean, or the future, or everything that happened to you, you know what I'm saying, especially your old soul, you know what I'm saying, and if you don't know, you know what I'm saying, why the reason why you here or anything, you know what I'm saying, if you want to know to get that, call in your ancestors, call in, you know what I'm saying, your higher self to show you your Akashic records. And at first, and I'm telling you people, I thought it was, I thought this, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, this is not racist. This is, you know what I'm saying, I'm just saying it right now because I'm not saying it for no race. This is what, because I was growing up, I thought this was for, you know what I'm saying, Caucasian people. I thought it was for white folks. You know what I'm saying? Meditation and all, I thought it was white folks. I thought that was a white person thing. You know what I'm saying? I know it seems funny, but it's for real. You know what I'm saying? Because if why I thought like it, and you see where I came from, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the other side of the tracks. I mean, I'm old, I'm 43 years old. And a lot of people looking at me right now. I had a woman right now, she thought, and looking at me, she thought I was in early 30s, late 20s. You know what I'm saying? But I'm 43 years old. And like I said, I'm finna click in. So for the ones that knew, that don't know what I look like, you'll see what I look like. You know what I'm saying? And people ask me, how you look so young? And you know what I tell them? God, the Most High Creator, keeping that love in your heart, keeping that, you know what I'm saying, that keeping your frequency high. Don't stress your fuck out. You know what I mean? Because, a lot of this stuff they lie to you about, like diabetes, you know what I'm saying? People say, you get diabetes from, eating a lot of sweets and all this boo, 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 eating wrong and all this shit. No, 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 no. No, no, no. You know what I'm saying? Do your research. Just do your research. You know what I'm saying? Because I had my grandmama. She was a nurse for 30 years. My mama did a lot of, you know what I'm saying? She did a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Medical assistance and stuff like that. She did a lot of stuff in the hospitals. My wife, you know what I mean? She went to University of Phoenix. She graduated with a social degree and bachelor degree. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? In the health field. My auntie in the health field. So when people want to say, well, do you know anything about health and all this shit? I went to job school. I went to trade school too. They had something called the medical officer support. in Morganfield, Kentucky. I don't think I do your research. Morganfield, Kentucky. It was a job corps in Morganfield, Kentucky. I got 3 trades out there: a trade electrician, medical office support, and plumbing. Medical office support is basically, a medical assistant. I be saying, what the hell? You're a motherfucker, full-fledged man. Why you want to, that's a woman's job. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you being sexist, it ain't just a woman's job. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I took it because, being real, I took it because where all the women was at. The women, I wanted to, I was 19 years old. I said, where the women at? And they was all in medical office support. So I took it. But, I just, and I thought I'm just in there just trying to, meet women and da-da-da and, saying, bullshit around and shit. But I really actually learned something. You know what I'm saying? Learn about the anatomy. You know what I mean? And when I found out that these doctors stay in school forever, you know what I'm saying? People think, these doctors, they get out of school and we doctors don't have to worry about school no more. No, these doctors always got to stay in school. I mean, for shit, I done heard a doctor been in school for 30 years after, he became a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Because everything, you know, things always, they always find new things. You know what I'm saying? Shit always steady growing. You know what I'm saying? So they always finding, and always, doing research and stuff, and that's what tainted to the doctors. And I'm talking about the human anatomy. They gotta, they got to know this. You know what I mean? So that's why they gotta stay in school a lot. You know what I mean? Because we keep on changing. You know what I'm saying? They keep on finding new things about the anatomy. The body. So that's why, these people, nurses and doctors, have to stay in school. You know what I mean? But they take a hypocritical oath. We know that. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into a lot of this, but I'm going to get into this frequency. Yep, this frequency, this God frequency. And how I felt it, how this frequency came in just a couple of days ago. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody been hearing about portals and stuff, been opening and stuff like that. All this, different frequencies and different shit, CERN open up a lot of, stuff and bringing in demonic entities and all this shit, it's all you've been hearing, you know what I mean? And people forget about that God frequency, the frequency of the Most High, you know what I mean? She here too. You see what I'm saying? She's vibrating too. She's everywhere. She's in your DNA. That's why the Most High is all-knowing. Because the Most High is in every living being on the planet. That's why they say you can't hide from the Most High. You can't. Because he's everywhere. And you see, these demonic figures in Hollywood, like to make movies like Lucy, and like Lucy, short for Lucifer, but they show some truth in there about, being a god, you're a god, how Lucy at the end, she became, Morgan Freeman was like, Lucy, where you at? And she said, I'm everywhere. You know what I mean? And I just said that the Most High is everywhere. It's in every living organism, every living thing on the planet. The trees, the birds, hell, you want to say the ground, the planet. The planet is an entity by itself. So when people want to say the planet ain't living, the planet, but the planet is alive. The planet is pissed off right now because, all the toxins that have been placed in the water, you know what I mean? All the smog and all the fucking, toxins has been, put out in the atmosphere for the chemtrails and stuff like that. See, people think we just be talking about these chemtrails because, because they just just drowning us with it. You gotta fella realize the earth is sucking it in too. They killing the earth too. Well, not the earth, planet Kai. That's what we're gonna say. Planet Kai. You know, they killing the earth too. And then they got something to hide too when it comes out to the chemtrails. The chemtrails is hiding a lot of, you know what I'm saying, things that we could be seeing in our skies. You know, a lot of people have been hearing about, you know, extraterrestrials and aliens and stuff like that. Now a lot of people do their research. You know, they know they been coming across by information about HARP and the stuff they could be staging the alien attack and all this stuff. This they want you to fear because this is what they are fearing because they know they don't effed up. This is their karma. They want you to fear with them because they know they're going down. They are going down, and you witnessing it in live time right now. How you know this system is breaking down. It's crumbling. Like after you know, I've been telling me and Dickie been telling people after you know what I'm saying this fake ass 2020. You know what I'm talking about in 2020. You know what I'm saying that. You know what I'm saying. You know that after that, this planet is not going to be the same anymore. You know what I mean? We weren't just the only one saying it. You know what I mean? And you see right now that this planet is not the same any fucking more. This planet it did a whole 360 degree, you know what I'm saying, shift. And it did. It fucking did. And I'm gonna put it like this: when they came out, Anthony Fauci and the rest of these deep state clowns came with that, you know, that hot sauce 19. You know what I mean? They gotta pay for that. There's a lot of blood that's been spilled on that. There's a lot of blood that's been spilled. A lot of people that, you know, I know that had that, had their timely demise because of it. You know, and we were speaking up on it, you know, and we was trying to light people about this, and now, people are, really seeing it, you know what I mean? And a lot of people, family members done passed on because of it, and my mother passed last year because of them shots. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't just talking about just the hot sauce 19. I'm talking about flu shots. Anything that, you know what I'm saying, that you inject yourself with and they call a fucking vaccine. You know what I mean? Like I said, we are walking guinea pigs. They test all this shit on us, like what they did with the Tuskegee. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know what I mean? And they gave people syphilis and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? See, you know what I'm saying? They test all this shit on us. They gonna say, "Well, we tested on monkeys. We tested on rats." You know what I'm saying? Okay, how you think they would know how it act in humans if they don't go and inject it and see what it'd do to humans? I mean, I'm just saying, And but now people now realizing that this government do not love you. They have an agenda, and that agenda is coming with that sixth race. Now, I talked about this sixth race for the last 10 years. That sixth race that merged, and like I said, they make movies about it. People now learning now that what we've been speaking years ago about the movies. The movies is the ones that they show you what really goes on. And the two famous movies that box office hits was always showing us the agenda. You know what I'm saying? One is Terminator. That's the sixth race. Merge AI, this technology, We're humans. Because they, they want full control of us. You know what I mean? They want most of the melanated people, us black people, off, out, because they know who we are and where we come from. They know this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to, this is nothing to be bragging about. This is nothing racist. It's none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? This is just the truth. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And they kept it from you. They lied to you. You know what I'm saying? And they've been lying to you. And they're going to keep lying to you until you finds the truth. Till you understand who you are and what your contract is. You know what I'm saying? Now I know some people just now, come to this channel and never heard me just, break it down. You know, I always had it, you know what I'm saying? I'm always, sitting up here, when I'm just going to just break this information and break what I know, so people can be, really like, damn, this nigga, we really, know his shit, Just follow me for these next couple of months, and you gonna see how serious that I take, my spirituality in this God frequency, and here to expose this shit, you know what I mean? Because right now, a lot of people, they fail not to do they shadow work, you know, and they still sitting out there blaming people for their fucking, their fucking shit. They fucking, mistakes, you know, and they don't want to, have ownership for their bullshit, you know. And I spoke about this a lot of times too. But I'm gonna go into this God frequency because I felt it. I felt it. A couple of days ago, I was at work. I was at work, and I don't know how you experience, feeling the God frequency, but how the God frequency feel to me. And I'm just gonna give a best, breakdown of it, how it felt to me, because it's hard to explain, how the frequency feel, you know what I mean? Because like I said, we all experience this shit differently, you know, and as me being tapped in for over 2 decades, and I know what to feel for. I know how that God frequency feel, you know, and like I was saying earlier, it ain't just, low vibration frequency here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just, only one, type of frequencies. I mean, you got a lot of fucking frequencies here. You know what I'm saying? But when you know the God frequency, you know what I'm saying, and you know how it feel, you know what I'm saying, what you feeling, it's here. It's all around you. You know what I mean? You know, and how it feel to me. Basically, I'm just gonna start like this because I get a warm sensation. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by a warm sensation, say like, how you just had a baby, or or you holding a baby, and you see that baby, looking at baby's eyes, and and you feeling the baby's vibration, you know what I'm saying? And you see that it's innocent, and it's all, and it's love, you know what I'm saying? And you don't make sure no one or nothing hurts it, you know what I mean? And how you feeling at that time, you know what I'm saying? That's how I get that feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that unconditional love is here, you know what I'm saying? That unconditional love is, and it make me feel warm inside, you know what I mean? It make me want to, you know what I'm saying, you know, uh, uh, just give give everybody hugs and shit, you know what I'm saying? Want to sit there and listen and talk to people, you know what I'm saying? And really, you know what I'm saying, throw positive jabs at people, you know what I'm saying? You know, you can, you know what I'm saying? That's just someone how I feel it, and and it just don't just come in 1 second and leave. No, it stays with me, you know what I'm saying? It stays with me for, how long, you know what I'm saying, want to, penetrate, But I'm here to pass this message on for all the righteous ones, for all the ones that been working, they working their ass off, is just trying to, you know what I'm saying, keep their vibration lifts and staying out all this low vibrational negative bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And you feel like there's no hope there no more, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You give up too easy if you feel like that. Because the most high is here. You know what I'm saying? That frequency is here. It's beaming through, you know what I'm saying, everything. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you don't feel it, that means you low vibrational. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? You need to raise your vibration up. If you don't feel it, you need to connect with all it is. You need to connect to, you know what I'm saying, nature. You need to connect with birds and animals and stuff like. You need to connect, not just with birds, and with other people. You need to, you know what I'm saying, you need to connect yourself, you know, connect yourself in the game. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And really, you know, if you still have some, you know, hardships and trauma on you, like I told you, you know what I'm saying, in one of the videos, you know, you have to, you know, forgive who made trauma into your life, you know, brought that trauma into your life, you know, and forgive them, forgive yourself. Don't look at yourself like, oh, you know what I'm saying, that person did this to me because I deserve it. No, no one, you know what I'm saying, deserve to be, you know what I'm saying, you know, traumatized. You know what I'm saying? No one. You know, it's not your fault. You know why I'm speaking like this? Because, you know what I'm saying, when I was young, I thought, you know what I'm saying, I was slow and I thought I was, you know what I'm saying, was the big problem. You know what I'm saying? But finding out it was just sick motherfuckers around me. You know what I mean? They always was lying to me. They didn't give me the truth. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of them were just hypocrites. They wasn't, you know, they was telling me to do this, but they was doing the same shit, you know what I'm saying, and doing more. You know what I mean? So when, like I said, when I'm finding out that I was lied to every fucking where, you know what I mean? So I mean, that's hard for that's hard for you can trust anyone. You know what I'm saying? You know, and when you always being attacked, always being pushed to the side, always, you know what I'm saying, somebody, you know what I'm saying, doing something to you and trying to, you know, make you feel bad and shamed and stuff like that, you know. And now you got you thinking that you a fuck up, or you know what I'm saying, you're a nobody and stuff like that. That's what Satan wants you. He wants you in a low vibrational state. He wants you to hurt. You know what I mean? He wants you to hurt. And he wants you to hurt others. You know? So, like I said, you need to give that to the Most High. You know what I mean? All your trauma, all the stuff that you've been, you know, been faced with in your childhood, give that to the Most High. And when you give it to her, you know what I'm saying? And I promise you, you know what I'm saying, you don't even this much think about it or talk about it anymore. You really give that to her, you know what I'm saying? You know, as your ancestors to protect you, you know what I'm saying? Because you got all these, you know what I'm saying, these demonic entities and spirits, and you know what I'm saying, they're around right now. Like we told you, this veil is lifted. You know what I'm saying? We in the spiritual world now, y'all. You know what I mean? You don't have to believe me. You gonna see. And I've been saying that for so long. You know what I'm saying? I've been telling people, you gonna see. You know what I'm saying? If you don't feel it or not, or you don't see it now, you know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, you know what I mean? you see what Donald Trump doing. The House is he trying to bring the House of Cards down. Now he's not trying. He's going to. You know what I'm saying? So you fixing to find out who is the true enemy. Who's been sex trafficking? Who's been selling out humanity? You know what I'm saying? You know, as Leslie K. Tyler said, it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, children is going to come up out them caves, come out from underground that they had in, you know, captive and in sex trafficking rings and shit. You know what I'm saying? All this shit finna be revealed to the masses. You know what I'm saying? And I've been speaking on this for 2 decades. You know what I mean? And they've been shadow banning me that damn long. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Because we always been here. We always been, you know, passing the messages, you know, and we always been saying, people, do your own due diligence on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the God frequency, I'm telling you, that frequency is beaming out here. You know what I mean? I mean, she's strong with this. I mean, it's out here. You know what I mean? You know, so you gotta please embrace it. When you feel it, you feel it. If you feel it, embrace it. Don't run from it. It's not nothing to be feared from. She love you unconditionally. She know your heart. If you sit down, you know that you doing the best you can. You know you've been, you know what I'm saying, raising your children right. You know you've been doing, you know, and 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 really, you know, hot for her, hot for the Most High. She know your heart. She know what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Embrace it. Embrace it. I got 7 minutes left on this live. On this live, because I said we're gonna do an hour. But I'm gonna come back this weekend. Me and my brother Dickie Jr. We're gonna come back in with a live, and I'm like I said, I'm gonna continue some of this on that live. You know what I'm saying? I just want to just put, you know, this is Friday, 8 in the a.m. Because Grand Rising to everybody that is now getting up. Grand Rising, it's 7:17. You know what I'm saying? Grand Rising. You know what I'm saying? Every day that we coming in, you know, into this new, you know what I'm saying, the fast of this old system fall. Cause it's falling fast. You know, you seeing all this stuff that's been coming out on these celebrities. You've been seeing, you know, what's been, you know, facing in DC. You've been seeing, you know what I'm saying, all of these motherfuckers that had all type of, you know, treasonous shit that they've been doing for, you know, for many years and decades. You know what I'm saying? All this shit is coming out. You know what I'm saying? And now, as we move into 2025, the rest of this fucking year, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I can't say what you know, what's going to come out and, you know what I'm saying, next or how it's going to come out in a certain way. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I do know, you know what I'm saying, we about to know the truth, the full truth. You know what I'm saying? And once you know, don't just sit there and be like, you know what I'm saying, if it sounds so out there, don't just try to push it to the side. Do your research. You know what I'm saying? Do your research. Because I'm telling you, because they have talked about, you know, it's some type of, you know, alien fleets is coming here. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna put it like this. Anything that's extraterrestrial, it's already been here. Already here. Been here. You know what I mean? Just saying. Just saying. You know, this is all another fear tactic move. So you can think that these fucking extraterrestrial aliens coming here to, you know, take over the whole world and stuff like this. No, they coming for them. They, they coming for them. You know, treasonous shit on humanity. You know what I'm saying? Just do your research because, you know, this monetary system that we've been living, this cash money system and shit like this, you know what I'm saying? It's tyranny. Basically, it's tyranny. Yeah, it's tyranny. You know, you kill for it. You sell your body out for it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you turn on your family for it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing good about this motherfucking this cash, you know, this money system. It's nothing good about that. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. You know, it keep us divided. You know, and now they trying to play the race card right now. You know, you see, you know, what happened, you know, in Cincinnati and all this shit. We talked about this shit. We talked about this shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, these evil motherfuckers, they can't create. They always play the same motherfucking, you know, card every time because they can't create. They can't, you know, they don't have no, you know, they ain't got no consciousness. They just, you know, they just keep doing what was working back then. They think it's gonna work now. How are they gonna think that shit is working while people are waking up, seeing this shit? You know, just saying. You know, but this God frequency is beaming through here. You know what I mean? You know, embrace it. Don't run from it. You know what I'm saying? And as I feel ready to close out, you know, please comment. Please send a comment. You know what I'm saying? If you got any questions, you know what I'm saying, to ask me, please, you know what I'm saying? That's why that comment box is there. You know what I mean? So just saying, love, love, you know what I mean? Because for these last few years, they've been trying to take love out of the equation. You know what I mean? This, especially this one saying they kept saying, you know, showing love is like showing signs of weakness. I didn't buy that shit. You can't just tell me some shit like that. You know what I mean? Because I know what it does. I know it's low vibrational. I know they trying to program you to keep you, you know what I'm saying? So you would not tap into that love frequency or that God frequency. You know what I mean? So when you hear shit like that and you know what I'm saying, it doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, oh yeah, because everything they done and they pushed as a rumor first. Like when they said, family ain't family no more. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch your family now because the families will get over you. The families will say you out. It started with a rumor. That started with a rumor first. If y'all don't know that. That was a rumor first. And what we do, we bought into it because you probably have a couple family members that did fuck up you. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got fucked up family members. Everybody got racial family members. You know, it's racist family. You know what I'm saying? People buy into the junk and gunk. You know what I'm saying? All the time. That's how we got the way we are now. We bought into their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time to, you know what I'm saying, kill this bullshit. Now it's time to, you know what I'm saying, you know, put common sense in the game. Now it's time to, you know, expose these motherfuckers. It's time to stand up. It's time to, you know what I'm saying? You know this shit don't make sense. You know this, they speaking on some, you know, saying low vibrational shit. You need to, you know, expose them on that shit. Don't be scared. It's not a time to be scared. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you say you know what I'm saying, you a righteous person and you about the most high. I'm just telling you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it 100, 1,000. You know what I mean? So please, all newcomers, subscribe to this. Subscribe if you know what I'm saying. If you feel this. If you come to this, you know, this channel right now, you come to this, you know, this live, even though the playback, you know what I'm saying, it must be a reason why you to come down here because, you know, this is this message you need to hear, you know. Because like I told you once before, I'm not new to this. I'm not new to, speaking on topics like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not new to this. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it to you. Because we real, raw, and unedited. I'm Dice Game G. Please follow me on Instagram. I know a lot of people say, I follow you on Instagram, but you ain't got someone on it. I was, Facebook, Instagram, at one point in time, I couldn't stand it because they were shadow banning me. And not just me, others like me, you know. So that's why I'm still kind of slow putting up things on Instagram. But, please follow me on Instagram because, uh, 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 like I said, I'm gonna be putting some contents on there, you know what I'm saying? So please share that, We on BitChute, Rumble, on YouTube, We finally got, we coming back in YouTube because YouTube done, uh, uh, deleted like 13 of my channels. And I mean, they just deleted them. They didn't give, they didn't give no explanation or nothing. But we know why they deleted it because, you know what I'm saying, we was waking people up. You know what I'm saying? So we do it our own way, the way we know how to do it. Like I told you, we don't, we don't follow, we don't, sound like anyone else because we are deprogramming from the old programs, the schools, the shit that they taught you in schools. We are, deprogramming. You know what I mean? You have to put all that shit that you learned back in the day or in school and all this shit, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you know you've been lied to, you have to push all that shit back and then go on and re-educate yourself and on the truth. And what you hearing right now that's going on TikTok, I'm just gonna confirm a lot of it. That's what you've been hearing on TikTok or on YouTube and all this stuff that's coming out that sound new to you, and it's out there. You need to soak it in because TikTok is on fire with a lot of fucking information. People are waking up all over, and that's what we having it right now. And a big awakening. We having I mean, this what I've been hearing for years about. You know what I'm saying? That mass awakening. People knowing the truth, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of people pissed off when they, really, everything is being confirmed about, what they've been hearing because a lot of people have been growing up with that hate in their heart. You know what I'm saying? You have families that's been, taught to hate a certain race. Now, if I'm speaking about you and your mother, your parents, your father, and all this shit taught you to, you know, they taught you to hate another race or hate, just hatred. Period. Trying to, bring up lies. Really can't prove a lot of it. They just, because they was brought up to hate that certain race. They was, and if you still holding that in and you still, uh, teaching that or trying to, have your kids, learn off it, hey, don't fool black folks, you know what I'm saying? They like wild animals, they don't love and da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people have been taught to hate. And I know some people, you know, that's not what they wanted to do, but they know, if they don't continue or play along with it, their family gon' their family gonna divorce them, you know what I'm saying? Or you date outside your race, so you know what I'm saying? You know, better get that hate off your heart. I'm just saying, because what now, this God frequency is in here, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be judging. And you know what I'm saying? If you have that hate in your heart, you ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna make it, boo boo. I'm not trying to be funny either. It's just the truth. You're not gonna make it. Just saying, because because everybody's here experiencing this shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you on that high frequency, it don't matter what color you are, you're gonna make it through this. You know what I'm saying? If you got that, you know what I'm saying, you on that divine frequency, yeah, you gonna make it through this. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's, I mean, damn. That's why this shit is so lovely. Because, you know what I'm saying, you can't fake this. You can't hide from this. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't just not do the work and think you gonna get in. No, you have to do the work. You have to raise your vibration. You know what I'm saying? So I love y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Please share this long and wide. And we'll be back this weekend. And we're going to be going in. I'm telling you, me and my brother Dickie Jr., you know what I'm saying? And please raise your vibration. And please, you know what I'm saying? Accept these changes now that's coming in. You know what I'm saying? Accept this. You know what I mean? We are in the new. And I'm telling you, this is the greatest time in our history. You know what I'm saying? And you need to embrace it because you got to think about it. Ain't no being ever good is witnessed this shift before. And I know some of y'all done heard that before. You know what I'm saying? And they want to talk about extraterrestrials out before I go out. They want to talk about extraterrestrials coming in. Man, the motherfucking skies is full of ships. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. They up there. You know what I'm saying? And I know they up there. You know what I'm saying? They've been up there for a long time now. You know what I'm saying? Here to witness this shift. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. The one I'm looking at you, the one saying, no. Yeah. Yeah, they've been up there. They've been up there. Because they know, you know what I'm saying, we going into a planetary shift. They know, you know what I'm saying, not just planetary frequency shift. And they know being ever seen it before. You know what I mean? I mean, you say, well, yeah, you get this information. I just told you earlier, you know what I'm saying? Tap in, yo. Call into your ancestors. Call into the most high, the God frequency. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Meditation helps. And like I said earlier, I thought when I was young, I thought meditation and all this was for Caucasian people. I thought that. You know what I'm saying? Don't make fun of me. I'm just saying. That's for real. I thought it was. But no, it's for all of us, y'all. It's for all of us. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all unconditionally. I'm out.